Hey, crypto family, welcome back to another video where I'm bringing you some daily crypto news. Today's article comes from the Bitcoinist and looks like Bitcoin 2022 Miami's final thoughts and conference reflections in this article. So let's go over what happened and who spoke. And yeah, let's just go over this article. So at this very moment, conference goers who are in town for the Bitcoin 2022 Miami conference are lining up for Sound Money Music Festival for a day of fist pumping and beat drops. With the business end of the annual crypto event now in the bag, here are some final thoughts and reflections on the historic Bitcoin conference. So here we go, the final thoughts on Bitcoin Miami 2022. You wouldn't necessarily know it based on the lackluster price action, but all this past week and into the weekend was Bitcoin Week in Miami, centered around the annual Bitcoin conference at the Miami Beach Convention Center. Big things were happening for the first ever cryptocurrency. The consensus across the underwhelmed community is always that there should have been bigger announcements. However, there was so much significance beneath the surface of the show. At a feature, not a bug, putting things into perspective during the show, billionaire Peter Thiel said it is best the fact that so many executives, entrepreneurs, and investors came together to gather for a network that has no CEO, no marketing team, or any sort of official entity behind it. It's something unprecedented. Bitcoin is for everyone, and that has never been more clear. It is up to the community and network itself to promote the community and network. Without Satoshi to be targeted, any points of failure were eliminated. But without a company bottom line, a board of directors, and a big marketing budget, announcements related to Bitcoin are solely left to those who build on or around it. Now, Bitcoin, not shitcoins. Even in a Bitcoin focused event, there was much respect shown to Ethereum by maxis. But there was still a deep disdain for shitcoins wholly. The message came from billionaires like Ricardo Salinas, the third richest man in Mexico. The message also came from the Uber drivers, hotel concierges, waitresses, and more, who all were eager to share they each had a sizable portfolio of shitcoins in the red, but rarely owned any Bitcoin. Everyone knew exactly what Bitcoin was. Meanwhile, the variety of names of random altcoins they mentioned read like the island of misfit toys. To the moon. But Bitcoin is freedom. As an American who flew from one US airport to another in just a few hours and didn't think a thing of it, hearing stories of a 13-year-old North Korean woman sold into sex slavery, yet escaped through China, are eye opening and tear jerking. In the developed West, money, banking, credit, and debt has worked well for the past several decades or longer. Elsewhere, hasn't been so lucky. Oppressive governments block the flow of information and control citizens through their money. Entire life savings are taken or gone with a snap decision from a central banker without a second thought for what it took an individual to accumulate their wealth. Now, surviving inflation. Central banks are the bane of society. What started as a valid attempt to drive economic growth, monetary policy has since made regular wages unlivable. It has created an enormous gap in wealth and created inequality globally. Consumer prices and energy costs are rising, and putting money in savings is a systematic way to see at least half of its value debased within a generation. Bitcoin might not be ready just yet to be the perfect store of value, but if you compared the last 10 years, the buying power of Bitcoin versus the dollar, the results speak for themselves. Yep, and this little thing right here was definitely a big topic on at the Bitcoin conference if you watched. But regulation is coming. The curse word was used quite often through the conference, regulation. Some see it as the beginning of a battle between cypherpunk ethos and the old ways of traditional finance. Others welcome it with open arms. The truth is, the coming regulation will not be easy for Bitcoin, and it will face many challenges. It will ultimately be what's best for the cryptocurrency's acceptance. Kevin O'Leary believes that Bitcoin mining will become regulatory friendly in time and even encouraged, able to offset the carbon impact of the industry. Now, what this does suggest is that the industry is so very young in that area as well as so many others. And yeah, again, crypto is still so early. Bitcoin 2022 had roughly 30,000 attendees and exhibitors. By comparison, San Diego Comic Con has around 100,000 more attendees. Consumer Electronics show brings in around 175,000 pre-pandemic. People are still learning adoption is happening, but there is still a long way to go. Bitcoin is just a teenager. Right now, like any teen, it has an attitude, doesn't listen to authority, and is growing faster than most can keep up. It's going through a phase of maturing, which comes with a lot of emotion and growing pains. For it to become an adult capable of going off into the world on its own and growing into the global reserve asset, it has potential for it's going to have plenty of stumbles along the way. But we all do, and we all are Bitcoin. So yep. So like Bitcoin at Bitcoin 22 Miami, Bitcoinist will be at Bitcoin 2022 in Miami, Florida from April 6th through the 10th, reporting live from the show floor and related events. Check out exclusive offerings and coverage from the world's largest Bitcoin conference here. So yeah, great article of this. What was literally just going on, final thoughts on like what was happening at the conference. Because again, there is no one person, one company backing up the how they say it, like the networking effect of it. It's like people who build around it and use it for the technology, and also great explanation on how Bitcoin is a teenager. It's still young, it hasn't matured to its adult life to be the next monetary asset of the world, but it's getting there. We may have some stumbles along the way, but that's how life goes. But it will get there eventually. So yeah, good article. There was another one out there that showed like this reflected like all the other like events going on, like what happened, who spoke, Sailor, Kevin O'Leary, the girl from ARC, Kathy Wood, that's her name. We even had Senator Loomis there one day. We had a couple 14-year-old coders. So like the generation of people who are using Bitcoin is phenomenal. So I really hope I can make it to the next one of 2023. We'll see if that can happen. But yeah, exciting weekend. Yeah, the price doesn't show it for a Bitcoin, but big things are happening in the world, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Hope you guys are too. So if you like this article, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so you do not miss a beat. And until next time, the Crypto Sherpa is out.